This right hand work is positive, is protective, is restorative. It focuses on bringing in blessings, healing, prosperity, new opportunities, tied to spiritual connection with ancestors, root work, cleansing, sweeping from back to front to remove negativity, offerings at crossroads. Okay, maintaining the balance. The left hand is more, I wouldn't say evil, but it is not in a moral sense. It's reversing harm, removing curses, taking action to protect oneself from negative influence. For example, if one of y'all is under a curse, a root worker might use left hand techniques to reverse the hex. Some people do. Some do a very powerful stripping, right? Just depends. So, like I said, all about balance and justification, okay? Because big difference. You just operating from a different side of polarity, okay? Hold on one second. Y'all to know that they both can, when you both can read and do work, or you could practice light and dark. That's what it means. The left hand, right hand, being two-handed. Being two-headed is they can read. They're a reader, and they can treat you. They can help you, or they can they could treat you or whatever, or do work for you. You feel me? Or that's what it is. So I want y'all to know that, and know that it really didn't come from hoodoo. That's not really where it came from. Um, and what these different ideologies are. How do people get this information? What does this really mean? So now we're going to answer questions. I'm not going to record that part. If you're interested in this information, hit me privately. Let's just keep it real. You could be out of fucking alignment. We ain't got to fall out about that. Shit happens. Everybody can't stay in good standing with the spirit. You could be out of alignment doing certain shit with this left hand. You got to be in your divination heavy, not spiritually spinal, motherfuckers. That's not what I'm saying. But if you come to a situation where you feel like, okay, like I'm gonna give y'all a situation right now, boom. Everybody would agree, oh yeah, I will work on that nigga child. Y'all done worked on motherfuckers for less, right? All this racist shit, I want to boycott this, I want to burn a candle for that. You hear motherfuckers saying that all day, right? For nothing. They don't even know them. Ready to cut their shit off right now. All them motherfucking Chinese people didn't do that. That man did. Y'all should have whooped that man's ass. They ain't putting that aggression, that energy in the right place. And that's going to cause hundreds and thousands of Asian families to suffer. Maybe even millions. Because everything come from China. I don't know if niggas know that. Everything is fucking made there. That's why they've been talking shit. Okay, so, and it's really a time for black people to thrive. And y'all can thank Hoodoo for that. The more people get into knowing the old ways and operating from the old ways, it opens up the collective unconscious. And when you think of a person that's two-headed, like we're gonna get into that later, but they operating from left and right brain consciousness at the same time. Everything is bilateral with them. Even how they think when they get mad, it's like two different people, like Jekyll Hyde. Or the spirit could be occupying them. Remember, I told you it could be a spirit. Any questions about that before we just get into questions? But I wanted y'all to know. Okay, so divination. You want divination because if the work is not justified, say you think, oh yeah, I'm about to blow this bitch back out. You feel me? Like she about to get this shit. You will get a fucking blowback if chaos don't be coherence. If the work is not justified, the natural balance will instantly correct itself, resulting in major negative consequences for the person that performed the work. Okay. So Divination, wisdom. Hold that motherfucking thought. You that mad, hold it. Don't let it become a grudge. You're gonna release it, but if you that mad, evaluate it. What do you need in this fucking moment from this? Is this a trap? Because some people will try to get you to work on them just to trap you. I don't know if y'all know that. How many of y'all know that? Y'all know that? Nobody? True statement, okay? Set your ass up for your own energy. So divination, wisdom, experience, right action is required before deciding to do positive or negative work. Why, Cheeto? Why I can't do positive work on people without their permission? Anything you do is releasing somebody's free will. For example, I knew a person who was in a situation, the guy that they was fucking with was not good for them, for real. He really wasn't, okay? But that person that was fucking with him was in love with this nigga. Do you hear what I'm saying? Like, in love with him, girl. Her friends was witches. These bitches decided one day that they was going to do a spell to break them up, okay? They did end up breaking them up. Oh, never mind. They did end up breaking these people up. And the girl and the guy went into like a deep depression. That shit went on. The guy ended up going to prison for like 5 years. The girl was depressed, on drugs, fucked her up for like 5 years. For real. And they thought it was so funny to break them up, even though that was like their experience. So, or like people be like, oh yeah, I want to work on her and I don't want to see this bitch have that, or I don't want to see him have this. And you don't know, their child could be blessed. They supposed to be blessed to be taking care of their child that's blessed. That might not even be their blessings. You don't know who the fuck or what the fuck you know attacking. You gotta really do divination on this shit. Why the fuck is you mad about it? Is the first question. Why am I letting this motherfucker get me out of character that I want to send my good divine energy to this person? Sometimes you gotta learn how to take the knife and free your motherfucking self, because if not, they'll be siphoning you for your shit. This is hoodoo. They drawing energy. Okay. I gotta be real rational with my shit. And if y'all really knew, like, this shit right here, like, chaos can never beat coherence. So when you doing some shit out of anger, how long can that anger go? You know, a lot of people don't know. You grudging this shit, you doing out of anger, you got this resentment, you blocked yourself. Now you're stuck. June 7, 2026, 7 p.m., you still there. It could be motherfucking June 8th of 2029. You will still be there in that same time space if you holding on to these emotions. The body keeps count, right? Same thing in hoodoo. That's called collapsing paradigms, what it is on a scientific level. But in hoodoo, it's just knowing that when you do certain stuff, that grudge holds you. You gotta keep it light. You gotta be a harmony. Okay, you gotta know how to do both. And the people that could do that and find harmony are mostly sometimes two-spirited people. Okay. Or some people believe that it could be passed to you, like you got your one spirit, one of your grandparents died, or you be the baby that they crossed over a body of a group worker and you gain their spirit, and that person is on you, working you. It could be that too. Okay, several ways that this could come up. It's a lot of consequence that goes into this. A lot of, are you doing divination? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Are you like some people say if you was naturally ambidextrous too. Like, I'm ambidextrous. I can cut hair with both hands, write with both hands. Not as good as I could when I was a kid because I don't practice doing it every day and at school and shit no more like that. But cut hair, comb my hair, yes. Eat with both hands, yes. Some of y'all see my big ass eat, you know I can. Okay, so listen, that was a way they knew a child did that too. was that, or a person that was doing roots, like a family you come from, when they know you ambidextrous, you could serve with both hands. This is the spiritual balance, the justification. These are the fundamental keys of success for performing left or right hand work. Okay. However you allow the energy of nature to flow through your being, that's how powerful you are. I'm gonna tell y'all some funny shit. Y'all remember the movie The Craft? And the other girl, Nancy, she summons that shit. She was dark and she was trying to control it. It went through her. She was powerful, but it was dark. But the other girl allowed her mom, the spirit, and that energy, and she was more powerful than her. And she was in a harmony. She was balanced. Y'all remember that? I'm giving y'all that scenario ideology to see so you can understand, like, based upon the spirit of the conjurer is what the work is going to manifest. Okay? It's a range of issues with this shit. So, Hoodoo, being a folk magic tradition, has absorbed and adapted many elements from different sources, like even the term left hand and right hand work. I told you where it come from. It come from that Sanskrit Vedic shit. It come from that ideology. Okay. So before doing any workings, you always must do divination. If you mad and say like you mad and you want to just take a candle, preferably black, it could be any color, but black is best, and wrap it all over your body and just burn it to release the negative energy off of you, you'll see black smoke come out that bitch. Instead of just doing certain shit to get the energy off of you, or bathe, or smoke, have sex, pop your aura. That might sound crazy, but hold that thought. If you really feel like you got to work on it, then you need to be holding that thought, not releasing it with anger. You need to be holding it, not telling somebody else about it. That's not holding it, that's releasing it. Okay, so you need to determine the work. Is it justified or not? And I don't even like telling people nothing about justified work. Do you know why? Because some people is so fucked up, they think that their ways is justified. And it's not even moral. So let's say, did you do divination? Did the spirit tell you that you should be doing this? Are you returning something to the natural balance, or are you trying to knock this person out of balance? This is why a lot of work hit other people around them. What is you, unless somebody's directing it to do that, it could be the balance. Like, is it really this what you really want to happen? This is what you really sending out? And instead of hitting that person, they might not be able to hit that person, but it's gonna start hitting shit around them. From negative consequences from the person who performed it. So whatever you putting out, that's the energy that you getting back. The do divination, do wisdom. If I could be honest with y'all, I'm gonna keep it 100. If I get mad at somebody and I'm like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do this to them, I gotta feel it from the fucking spirit. I gotta sit on it for days. Not trying to be funny, and I ain't trying to use you for validity, but Kier seen that recently. I'm like, you know what? I've been waiting for days for this shit. Ain't that what I'll tell you? I work on that bitch at first, but then I had to sit on this shit and realize this is what was being done. I'm in class. I'm gonna call you back, okay? Can you have Melanie to call me? Yep, I will. All right. Mm-hmm. Can I call Promise? Hold on, y'all. Of that, because in Hoodoo you hear like, oh yeah, she got two spirits, or she two-handed, she can see and she can read. People be like, oh yeah, she two-handed, or she a two-headed doctor. She can see and she can read what's going on with your symptoms, or she can do the work and she can see what's going on with you, because some people can't do both. Okay. So people was messaging me. Hold on. The only difference with this is the malicious intent, your intention. The left hand path is almost like a self deification. Like, this is the gateway to deciding you are the motherfucking deciding factor to the greatness of your life, not nobody else. This is the divine self. A lot of y'all doing this shit and not knowing you on the left hand path, or maybe you do. This is the divine self. This is the submissions of one's will, right? To self and not others beyond itself. This is the divine self. This is the true Damien, the true will. This left hand path. Okay. This is being deeply connected with your darkness and the dark aspects of your mind, body, soul, your psyche, and the spiritual world. And if you're a beginner, it's just taking charge of one's will. Okay. This shit ain't nothing that just randomly happens. This shit requires focus. Okay. The right hand path, this right hand work, is a quest of reuniting your soul with the divine source. That's it. Karma, law of retribution, coincidence, you working with the universe, and you will learn a level of love by operating through that. You respect taboos, you avoid judgment, you follow all moral code. Okay. Some people that do right hand work would never in their life put a curse on a person. I'm gonna teach y'all why. How many of y'all really want to know? Like, well, damn, why Cheeto? Why should we never really do it? You know, some bitches need curses, right? If you knew that when you curse another person, you block yourself, would you do it? Let's do a little show of hands in here. We got a couple of y'all. If you knew that, would you do it? Even if it was justified, because you don't have to work on them. Some people are just so habitually in a psychosis, you might got to set up a ward. But we'll negative, like, oh, I don't have to hex her, but I could set up a ward that if you is sending shit, may that shit blow up in your face, because I know you crazy. I'm not fucking with you. May you start saying, damn, I did this and that happened. That made that shit blow up in your motherfucking face. Because I'm not, like, you will have people, this is the spiritual realm we fucking with, right? You'll have people that say, man, you might not get along with them, right? Let's get into this left hand, right hand shit, like, and the consequences and thereof. Say you got a person, you really don't get along with this person. You might have been mad. Remember, I told you it's like all about morality, okay? You might have been mad. It pissed you off. You like, oh, I'm put a little salt in their sugar. Fuck them. I'm gonna send them some shit. And you do that, and whatever you was mad about, you pay attention. You sit up, not only around you, other people you know. What you send out will start coming back. Now I'm about to tell you how I come back. This about to fuck y'all up. You know how you go to the water and you throw a rock out, right? You throw that rock, it hit the water. What it do? Echo out, right? You see that water ripple out, and then it smooth out and do what? All that shit roll right back to you. Do it not? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong. You don't agree? You don't agree with you? You crazy? Okay. And we using the what? The elements of nature doing hoodoo, right? So we dealing with the earth, air, fire, water, spirit as yourself. Okay. And this is even in witchcraft too. All of this shit is connected to earth, air, fire, water, spirit. If I don't care what African traditional religion you put it with, all of the deities or emissaries are earth, air, fire, water, or spirit. Like, it's just the same thing. This is the elements, Neteru. All of it is operating as Neteru, which is spirits of nature. And consciousness connected to your own inner consciousness. This the hoodoo, this the hodgepodge. Hoodoo is a collection of different forms of folk magic witchcraft, Congo magic from the Africans, this Kalunga, this cosmograph, okay? And these people, based off of their spirit, determines is you balanced enough? Like on some real shit, being a person myself that could do like dark work, it's a level of harmony. I'm not gonna say balance because balance leads to stagnation. Okay. If you want to know where this concept really come from, you will hear, and you're gonna get into it in the later weeks. People will say like they a two-headed doctor, or they they two-spirited, which means they can be dark and they can be light. You feel me? Like that. Does that make sense? You hear people say that in Hoodoo. But really the concept really comes from witchcraft, the left and the right. That really is more or less like the left hand way come from Sanskrit, Vamachara, which means the left hand way. You see what I'm saying? Dashkinchara is the right hand. This is Hinduism. You know, older than the Hoodoo probably than what we was doing. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. Y'all to know that they both can, when you both can read and do work, or you could practice light and dark. That's what it means. The left hand, right hand, being two-handed. Being two-headed is they can read, they a reader, and they could treat you. They can help you, or they could, they could treat you or whatever, or do work for you. You feel me? Or that's what it is. So I want y'all to know that, and know that it really didn't come from Hoodoo. That's not really where it came from. And what these different ideologies are. How do people get this information? What does this really mean? So now we're going to answer questions. I'm not going to record that part. If you're interested in this information, hit me privately. So practicing with your left hand is associated with negative or harmful intentions such as cursing, vexing. The practice is basically contrast with working with the right hand work, which involves positive and beneficial magic. The use of the terms left hand work and right hand work draws from the broader mystical context of Hoodoo, which has absorbed and adapted elements from different sources. It is more important to approach spiritual work with discernment and strategy and know how the benefits and drawbacks of each choice that you do for your workings, right? So you have to understand that it is a spiritual balance, and justifications are essential for left and right hand work to avoid major consequences. Both spiritual and natural worlds seek balance and ordain order, maintaining a set rhythm per divine plan. Disrupting this rhythm, regardless of the scale, upsets a natural balance, requiring correction. Justify left hand workings, rebalance the scales, which, in the larger sense, is good. Divination, wisdom, experience, right action, and are required before deciding to do positive or negative work as a whole, either one. Okay. So approaching spiritual work with discernment and strategy, not being emotional, because it's like discouraged because you're unclear. Your mind is gonna make a poor decision. You might lead into sloppy results, or it might not be precise as it could be. So doing these works decides the comfort level. Through study and practice, you'll know your limits, and you'll be able to consult with your ancestors or your divination tools, of what it is. One of the worst things with this that you don't hear people talk about, and we're going to talk about today, is when they do this darker work, how it basically makes them incapable of tapping into lighter emotions. Their heart becomes. You ever hear Christian people say that person's heart becomes hardened? Oh, oh, that makes sense. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense, but